Well, good morning. It's Monday, May the 6th, 2024. This is Overheard Overnight. I'm Chris Morales, and this morning we're talking about being alone but not lonely. I had a dream last night, actually, a couple of them. Recurring dreams I've had over the last couple of years. This one is around the time when Sally died last year. In fact, I had two of them. Both of them were around the exact moment when she passed away. I can't help but think that it's because of the topic that I've chosen this morning, which is alone but not lonely. And certainly the loneliness and the feeling of being alone when one has lost a spouse is something that is rather difficult to describe. Now, I did try and do that last week with some good longtime friends. We were having drinks. One of them was in town from out of town and heading on, and the four of us managed to get together. And what I explained to them that night was that for me, being alone is like being in this mind sphere, construct around what I think and what's in my head. And within that, I can control what comes in. I can definitely control what comes out, what you see, what you hear, what you feel. And certainly within that sphere, I feel like I can do absolutely anything I want, when I want, with whom I want. Now, let me repeat that. I can do anything without limits other than what's inside this cranium. I can eat what I want. I can drink what I want. I can go where I want. I can be with people, whichever people I choose to be with. Dress however I like. So let me break some of that down for you. In terms of eating, now, those of you who know me a little bit, maybe those of you who know me a little better as well, know that I like salty snacks. So peanuts being one of the things that is just a weakness for me. I can eat peanuts. Peanuts go well with red wine, beer, scotch. I know what you're thinking. I also, though, have the ability to create a pot of soup to die for. Always better day two, of course. Chicken broth, some pasta, frozen vegetables, and bingo. Oh, special spices. I've got to throw those in as well. Don't ask what's in the jar. I mixed a bunch of stuff together and I have no idea what's in the jar anymore. But I make a delicious soup that I can live on for a good couple of days before I have to put the remainder in the freezer. I can dress however I like. No limits on what I can do. Most days I'm in t-shirt, track pants. Now, they happen to be Lululemon track pants. Shout out to the brand. And a black t-shirt. I just love that whole combination. And yes, when I go out in public, I generally put pants on. I put my jeans on and definitely try and wear a collared shirt. I can look however I want to look. That's gotten some interesting responses from some folks. Mostly it's been silence. Thank you. Appreciate. So, you know, for now, we're keeping with the fuzzy look. Going to stay with that. I can watch whatever I want on television now. Now, unfortunately, what I like watching are movies like Hunter Killer, James Bond, anything Red. So Red 1, Red 2, I can watch them back to back. Love the Taken series. Liam in those is just absolutely fantastic. Watch them back to back to back and still not get bored. Yeah, can you hear a certain lady by the name of Sally rolling around in her grave thinking about what I'm doing in some of these cases of not trying to be alone? Now, alone and lonely hand in hand, and occasionally, and this generally happens on a Saturday evening, I'll get a little mellow on myself, feel a little sad for myself Saturday evening, when I'm alone with Milo, of course, but I'm alone and I think about others who are with family, and I don't have anybody else here to talk to except, Liam on Taken, or Milo who is sitting on my lap. So those definitely are moments when the loneliness does seem to pop up. But the biggest one, and the one that's kind of most top of mind, are the people that I get to choose to be around and who I let into my mind sphere. Now, this past weekend, Sunday, I had the opportunity of spending time with family. Four of the boys and I were in the Toronto Marathon event on Sunday in downtown Toronto. Little rainy, little cool, Now, two of them had never run before. They're not natural runners. So we chose the 5K for their introduction to it. The other one, Andrew, he went off and did the half marathon and just blistered the course that morning. Just an absolutely fabulous occasion. Andrew's wife and kids came down at the finish. We all were there to watch him come across the finish line. I've done that before for Courtney, done that for all of them, in fact, and we've run together in many, many race events. But what was super special yesterday, even though it was drizzly and rainy, is, two guys who have never run before, I'm running and walking with in the 5K and having just a blast, sharing a lot of good stories. But that wasn't it. I was expecting some aha through that whole experience. And what did it for me yesterday, in just kind of proving that inside that mind bubble, inside the head, you get to control what happens, was the opportunity of walking two of my grandkids back home. I'm blessed, by the way. I've got 4 sons, 3 daughters-in-law, 6 grandkids, and I don't look a day over. Let's move on from that. But I got the chance to push the stroller with 2 of them all the way back up to their place, about 2.5-kilometer walk. And we raced ahead of the parents, who were kind enough to let me go ahead and do that. And along the way, the elder one and I are just chatting up a storm. I mean, we're just having a blast. And, it's one of those moments when you go, yeah, we may be alone. And yes, Chris, you might be alone, but boy, you definitely aren't lonely. So now let me come back to the dreams last night, and why, in fact, they are not nightmares anymore. I still find it a little bit challenging to say what I'm going to say next, but I was blessed to be there when Sally passed away last year, because in that moment of holding her hand and watching her leave this conscious planet, she had the chance to share 3 things with me. And the first one was, she had a kinder, gentler approach to life. And she was kind enough to share that with me. So I do feel that, I'm able to express that a bit better now as I've managed to cope through all of that. Second one, though, is the edgier one. She's also taught me and shared with me how to be able to say no more frequently to things I don't want to do, people I don't want to be around, and experiences I just simply don't want to have. I've never been good at that. I feel it a little better. So, Sally, thank you for those 2. The third one, though, and the one that probably, and I'm not a psychologist, and I don't have any training in this, but the one that seems to get me through and maybe the one that will stay with me for a longer time is the remembrances, the memories of the people, the experiences, the memories of the time I had with Sally, and with family and with friends, when we got to do those things that you look back on and you go, wow, that was special. And then as you look forward, you say, hey, there's still lots and lots of those opportunities ahead. So other than the occasional Saturday evening when I do feel a twinge of loneliness, I definitely don't feel alone. And for sure, I'm not lonely. Until next time, just remember, do the right thing.